Good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome world to High Priestess Gran Canaria. We offer holistic yoga retreats to high priestesses in the Canary Islands. We've got an incredible program lined up in terms of the retreats, the holistic retreats for high priestesses from May 2021 onwards. And today we're going to do our first meet and greet, and you're going to see the faces, get a feel for our team, and hopefully enjoy what it is that we're bringing to the world, enjoy what it is that we're doing, enjoy the approach that we're taking, that I'm taking to yoga retreats. So something a little bit different to what's out there on the market, to the usual, the boring, the norm. I've been on yoga retreats in India, in Spain, in different places, and they're great, they're important, but yoga classes, yoga retreats, they all get a little bit monotonous after a while. Let's take another vinyasa, let's do another, and so I want something different. I wanted something different. I wanted to create something different. And the reason that I wanted to create something different was for reason to create community, go beyond Black Lives Matter, and offer a space to a Black woman on one of our retreats. So on every single retreat, build community, offer something different, and offer things that are a little bit more of a holistic approach. So from the top, from the chakra, dance, to digital marketing, to capoeira, so moving the body in different ways. We have got some of the team members ready and waiting to connect and to jump in and say hi. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our Jennifer. So this is the first time that I'm doing this. So to Jennifer. And Jennifer can introduce herself and tell us a little bit about who she is and what she's going to be offering. Hi, Jennifer. How are you doing?
Hi. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. How are you doing, my darling?
Yeah. We are doing good. I think we are all get challenged a little bit by this situation.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Jennifer, tell us a little bit about who you are, what your background is, where you are based. Introduce yourself, please, to the world.
Okay, thank you. Right now, I live in Germany, where I've born in Heidelberg, West South Germany. I grew up with the Afro-Caribbean culture because my stepdad is from Trinidad and Tobago. So
you ate lots of roti. Have you ate lots of roti, I would imagine, yeah?
Yes. Very nice. Yeah, so it's kind of I grew up kind of multicultural, my blessing. Later I moved to Mexico with my family. My daughters are born in Mexico. For a while I was quite into midwifery, traditional midwifery, because there you can find a lot of roots. The way how we get born into the world is so important, and there's so much knowledge in women's health, and especially the midwifery. So because I'm a medical anthropologist, yeah, this was quite an important subject to me. But the dancing was always my...
What dancing do you offer, Jennifer? What type of dancing? Where did you learn that?
I do West African dance, which is quite it's always difficult because Africa is such a big continent, and we talk so much about African dance or Afro dance, which I also do to give people an idea. But I also like to explain that we get conscious. This continent is so big, and it has
and vast, isn't it? Very different from region to region, from border to border. Language,
exactly,
cultural, so many ways.
and especially they have such a great part in their music and dance. Like they will you will find so the whole history they transfer by music and dance, and almost everything in life is accompanied by a certain rhythm, a certain dance, a certain festivity. So there is so much to find in it. So to be more specific, I do the Mandinka dance, which you will find in many West African countries. Like when the frontiers was done, they didn't look for the ethnies. So certainly you will find it, especially in Guinea, in Senegal, in the Gambia, in Burkina Faso, Mali, Cote d'Ivoire. Yeah, these are mainly the countries I was visiting. I have a lot of friends and family. I see them as my family. I go several times a year to West Africa. 2020 is really challenging.
I know you had to cancel your retreat scheduled in the Gambia for this year. Yeah, I can't apologize. It's bigger than all of us. So it's a blessing, but it doesn't feel like that at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was
okay.
So also for a longer time. I did research on women's health in Burkina Faso, which gave me also the chance to be part of the festivities in the evening. So I could also get more into the traditional West African dance. So from that time, and even throughout Mexico, I was inviting West African teachers, which is artists in dance and music, to Mexico. Right now there's a big scene. So in the last, let's say 20, 30 years, you can see the djembe scene is spread out all over the world. It's like a world heritage. Is incredible. It's fascinating for me, because you will really find every part of the world. And I'm sure maybe in Gran Canaria we will even find a djembe place also. So
Claudia just said she feels like dancing now. Claudia, one of the other teachers, she just said that she feels like dancing.
Yeah. This is really my essence. The West African dance, you will find everything. They have this great, it's so authentic. It's not an art. It was created for performance. It grew out of life, I would say. It really grew out of life, and you will find everything in it. For me, most essential is this connection of earth and sky, which you will always find. Like we get grounded, and at the same time we will connect to the air, to the sky, and this dynamic and this energy is so special. And once you can connect to it and you can express yourself in it, it's the most beautiful thing, because it's a long tradition in it. It's very, very old, ancient, and at the same time you have a lot of liberty in it. So you can also have individual dance in it, but it has certain structures. And like this, as I said, the tradition is so ancient. This is also like the connecting part, let's say, because you will connect to the music, the rhythms, and the dance are always like interconnecting. There's a dialogue in between the.
There's lots of overlaps. There are lots of overlaps, aren't there, in terms of what's done in one place, but maybe done for a different reason in another place.
Yeah.
So we could talk about this forever and a day, because it's so beautiful. And I have to tell you that I've scheduled one of your retreats for my birthday.
Oh,
so because I was like, what do I want to be doing 2021 for my birthday?
Oh.
I want to be really dancing African dance.
Yes.
So I've scheduled one of your retreats, and so I hope it goes ahead like all of the others. But I'm looking forward to the calendar of events that we've got, that I've planned, but for a number of different reasons, because it's holistic. It's in so many different ways.
Yeah.
So just very quickly, Jennifer,
Yeah.
what was the reason that you reached out and said that you wanted to be part of the High Priestess Gran Canaria program and project? What was the reason? Yes, you need work. We all need work. but what was the reason for it? Why this project? Why did you want to connect with this project?
Actually,
summarize, please.
I was actually I was not looking for extra work. Like, I'm a freelancer. I have my own work in different areas, let's say, mostly body work. But I was yeah, sometimes life is like this. I saw that you're looking for a dancer for your yoga retreats. I also offer yoga retreats, but I was very interested in. I was reading about you, and I thought, oh yeah, why not? Like, sometimes you just do like a let's say like an intuitive. It was not so much from my head, like something logical or something, but more like from my heart. Let's see what's coming, and it felt very nice. It felt very nice. I like your approach on it, and I like also like you're offering for, like you said, the Black community, and even in this, and it's not about skin color, this is something very important to me. Sometimes I feel people have this idea, oh, the black skin woman, they always can dance, they have it in their blood. I hear this so often, and I try to make all the people believe, and all the women believe, everyone can dance. We all have rhythm in us, we all have our heart, right? So
it's whether we want to, for anything and everything.
Yes, yeah? It depends how you grow up. And maybe if you have the blessing and you grow up in West Africa, you will always be surrounded by a lot of music and dance, and the people share it. And they are not performing so much. I mean, you will find this also, but it's not so much about performing when you dance, but really this connection from the children to the elders. They will all join somehow in their feeling of movement and dance.
Because it brings joy. It's important. Yes. It brings joy and it brings people together.
Yes.
Jennifer, we could talk for a long, long time. But for this moment in time, I'm going to say thank you very much for introducing yourself and being part of our team meet and greet. I hope that you're able to listen to the other members of the team and learn a little bit more about them as well. I know that we've got some mini taster sessions scheduled throughout the year, this year, and also throughout 2021 as well. So we'll have more time to showcase your skills and my skills, and to, you know, get to know our public as well. So from me, I will say namaste. Thank you very much. Namaste. Have a great evening and take care, my darling. So goodbye. I don't know how to cut you out and bring somebody else in.
Oh my God.
But if anybody knows how to do that, please let me know. Yes. I don't want to end this. So I don't know whether if you can exit, do you have an option to exit and then I can bring in the next specialist?
Yes. Many, many kisses. I'm looking forward. Bye-bye.
Me too. My birthday week. Yeah. Thank you, Jennifer. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. So that was Jennifer. And doesn't that sound incredible, what she offers, her skill set, her knowledge? And I think the next person that we will bring in, I'm looking for Natalie. I think Natalie was next in the room. So I'm looking to bring in Natalie. Let me see. I'm learning as I go along. I'm learning as I go along. Natalie, you're unable to join. I can't bring you in for whatever reason. So Natalie, I can't bring you in. Do you want to find out a reason for that? It's telling me that I can't bring you into the room. I can't add you. I can't join you. So let's go to the next person. The next person I'm going to bring in has an incredible skill set and is very active on social media and is very authentic in what she does. And sometimes I'm like, wow, but I'm glad to have you on board. So let's bring in Miss Claudia. Let's bring in Claudia. So Claudia, I've sent you a request. Thank you. Thank you. You must have something to do with your settings, Natalie, which, you know, doesn't allow that. Hello, Claudia. Hola, Bella.
Hello. Hi to everyone.
How are you doing, Claudia? You had COVID, there's a bit of an echo.
Yes, I don't know if my internet connection is a little bit weak right now, but let's see. We'll try to follow.
Okay. You had COVID recently. Can we do something about the echo? Can you go and have a play about it and come back because we can't deal with that?
Yes. Sorry about that. Okay, let's try it again, yeah? Let's try it again.
Thank you, my darling. That's not going to work. Thank you. So, we will then look at bringing in Miss Patricia. Señorita Patricia, ¿estás lista? Patricia, ¿estás lista? Ya. ¿Quieres hablar conmigo en inglés? Estás en España, en la península, ¿no? Patricia, acabo de mandarte un enlace.
Connect. Yes.
Hola, Patricia.
Hola. Hello, everybody.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Good.
I was some days had an herpes, so I was very tired for some days. But now it's okay. I'm recovering.
Recovering from what? From COVID? Did you have COVID?
No, herpes. I don't know in English.
Herpes. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what the symptoms are of herpes. People don't have it
very
anymore.
tired all the time, and I was like, "What is going on?" And then I found this thing in my back, and then some glands also were inflamed, and I don't know. But
Sorry to hear that. How you're feeling a bit better now? Is that right?
yeah, I was just sleeping for many days. I just slept, and it's okay. I put some creams and a lot of juices, a lot of caldos de verduras. And
the body was asking for rest then, because I know that you were busy in Greece, and so the body was asking for rest. Would that be fair to say?
Something like this, and also all these ambience around is so weird.
Yeah, what part of the mainland? Where are you in the mainland?
I am in Huesca, in the Pyrenees.
Okay, so I don't know what it's. I know that the main cities, Madrid and Barcelona, they've been hit.
Zaragoza. Do you know Zaragoza?
I went to Zaragoza like 30 years ago. So I was in Campamento.
Up Zaragoza, more in the Pyrenees. We are quite close from France, very close from France.
Okay. So, Patricia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please? What's your background? What were you offering on our retreats?
Okay, well, I've been, because in the retreat I'm going to teach Spanish and Chakra dance, so I will start with the Spanish. That's what I studied for, to be a teacher of French and Spanish, and I was working for almost 20 years as a Spanish teacher.
Where have you worked as a Spanish teacher?
I work mainly in Belgium, many years in Brussels, and then I moved to Greece. I was also teaching in Greece. I was also a little bit in Guadeloupe, in the Caribbean.
In Guadeloupe? Pas de problème. Oui, pas de problème.
Oui.
Mocale.
Estaba allí, but well, it was a long time ago. I was very young. I was 20 years old, or 22, or whatever. So I was a Spanish teacher for many years, mainly Belgium and Greece. But parallel, I was always doing yoga and other kind of body work. I was always very interested about body work and spiritual world. So at the age of 24, I was very, very sick after an operation. And after this operation, and being in many doctors that they were doing many kind of things, and I was getting crazy about all these medicines they were giving me and all these things that didn't work.
Without an answer, they were medicating.
Yes,
without a conclusion, medicating. Yeah. We don't care why or the end result. We just want to medicate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a friend told me, "Why don't you do yoga?" Okay, I never did yoga before. And I started to do yoga with women, 80 years old women, because I couldn't be straight. I was like this. Well, I was very bad condition. I had like a ball of tennis in my I don't know in English, trompa de falopio. How do you say this in?
Your fallopian tube.
Yes, I had this
It
thing
was
there, you know, and well,
myomas. Were they myomas? Is that what you had?
no, I had an operation. I had an ectopic pregnancy.
Okay. I just
So
okay.
they operated me bad, and I had a lot of problems, and they did chemotherapy for many sessions, and they were telling me you have this. And, well, it was a mess. And I healed with yoga. I was doing every day, and I started to really release all these tissues here and all the problems I had also in the intestines and all this. And then I say, wow, it's amazing yoga. I
Yoga is
really,
medicine.
it
Yeah, yoga is
was
medicine.
like, I realized that I could heal myself, you know, that I didn't need all these doctors and hospitals. So I started training in Barcelona at that time for Hatha yoga. And then I was practicing and I started to teach also Hatha yoga for some years. At the meantime, I also started to study massage because I always felt I had a lot of energy with my hands and I like it a lot to touch people and to massage people. I didn't know what I was doing, but I felt that I had to do. And so then I started also to do some trainings in Thailand, in Spain, well, several trainings about different kinds of massage
And how did you get into the chakra dance? Because that's not
chakra
very
dance.
common. And so,
Came much
what is it?
later.
What is it, and how did you get into it?
Because I always liked the chakras. I was amazed by the wall of chakras because after this I also did many years Kundalini yoga. So I was working a lot in the chakras with Kundalini yoga and this. And one time a friend told me, oh, there is this chakra dance, maybe you like. I said, because you like so much about chakras. And I was watching what they did and I don't know, I said, oh, I like this because I like a lot dancing too. I always like dancing and I believe it's very therapeutic also. And when I was feeling bad, I was young, I was going to dance all the night. And after all the night dancing, I was like, all my problems.
Ready for the world. Yeah? Ready for the world.
Yes, I said, that is my therapy, dancing. So I started this, I met a woman who was doing this training, is an Australian woman. So I did my training, but the thing it was very strange because I did online my training and alone. And a chakra dance is something for you as a therapy, but I never did this in a group. Which when I started to give myself chakra dance to other people, it was in a group. So for me at the beginning, I didn't know how it was going to be because I did myself many times, but I didn't know what was. And I started to see that people had. First of all, people like a lot, and they have shifts, very much shifts, very quickly, very fast.
Energy.
Yes, amazing, amazing.
Because we have blockages, don't we? We have blockages in our points, in our chakra points to our body.
But it's
so
also,
whether it's the root chakra, the Mulabandha chakra, or whether it's the crown chakra, so we need to make sure that everything's open so that the energy can flow through clearly, and we understand where problems are.
I think the mix of because the music we use is a music that is composed especially with different frequencies that work different energies of each chakra because they don't vibrate the same way each chakra. So I think it's a mix of these frequencies and music. And also you dance with the eyes blind. So also,
eyes closed or a blindfold.
Yeah, and this is amazing because you really go in.
Just dealing with the senses, with the body, with the senses.
Amazing. And we connect with elements. We work a lot with the elements, with the air, with the water, and you really feel them, And also the thing that is eyes closed, you really connect with all these elements. So, and also I play music, I have this music already, but I also play drums and other instruments because I also do some journeys. So I started to put a lot of music myself and this. And I love to do this because I see that people are releasing so many things. You can work with ancestors, you can work with all the problems and all the stuff that we all have. But in a very nice way, no suffering, because I did Kundalini yoga many years, and in Kundalini sometimes we suffer a lot.
Why? We suffer enough, especially women. We suffer enough. Yeah, we don't need to suffer anymore.
I was tired. I said, "Come on, I don't think I need to suffer so much, And when I met Kundalini, Chakra, and I said, "Wow, this is amazing! I'm having fun, and I'm releasing stuff in only one session sometimes, And I don't have to do
Fantastic.
quarantenas, 40 days or 120 days. So that's why I started to do retreats and workshops with chakra dance because I love it. And it's all the things I like. I like dancing, I like music.
And yoga
So
and
yoga, because
movement.
also I do some meditation, sound meditation also in my workshops. I said, this is what I like. It's everything together.
So, just to kind of summarize, why did you want to join this project? What does this project mean to you? Working, with High Priestess Gran Canaria, what does it mean to you? Why?
It's a little bit like Jennifer. She's the previous was Jennifer. If I don't forget the name.
Jennifer, yes,
So
Jennifer.
I was like this. I found it it came to my Facebook, and I was like, I don't know. It talked to me. I said, well, I'm gonna write it because I don't know. Something said was not looking for work or something neither. I mean, I was in something else, and I just write. I said, let's see. I don't know. I felt it, and then when we spoke, and you told me about the project, I really liked the project. That's what I said. Wow, because it was something different from many retreats, and also this to work with black people, which I like because normally everything is so for the white perfect women, la 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 la, and I was a little bit
With
tired.
all of this, yep, hetero, cis,
Yes.
the list goes on and on and on as to the exclusion in the world of yoga. Yeah.
So was perfect what I was already myself think. I said I don't want to work anymore with. I want to do something else with in a different way. So and then we connect, and I really felt. I said I like this project. I feel it goes direct to my heart. It's voilà.
Pues yo te digo muchísimas gracias por hoy, por el tiempo de hoy y que te vayas muy bien y que te mejores también, ¿vale?
También, ahí vamos. Venga.
Ánimo, ánimo, ánimo. Look after
Hasta
yourself.
pronto.
Patricia, thank you for your time. Get better soon. Ánimo, ánimo, ánimo. Nos vemos. Tienes que salir de la cita, pues, y yo puedo invitar a otra persona.
Muy
¿Vale?
bien, vale.
Gracias.
Hasta luego.
Nos vemos. Chao.
Chao.
Ciao, ciao. So Patricia will also be available giving a mini session at some point in time. So we've got a schedule. I don't know the schedule off the top of my head. We've all got it in our calendars. I'll probably need to be reminded because I've got so many things going on. But we all have a schedule of mini Theta sessions. So it will be myself and one of the specialists delivering a mini session, and we'll be doing it again via Insta Live, so you can get more of a feel for the things that we're talking about, for the things that we're doing. So, Natalie, are you telling me the thumbs up, telling me that you're ready to rock and roll? Let's see if I can invite you. And I need to go to Ariel, and you guys know the reason why. Ariel's actually doing training, and she has only just got this window of opportunity. So let's see if Ariel is available. She's doing a course at this moment in time, and they're on a break. She's in the States. Hey,
Hello.
Ariel.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm great, actually. I'm having a lovely time. I can't speak in the plural. That's the royal we, but I'm having a lovely time.
Good.
And I hope that everybody else here is having a lovely time. So just in the comments, please let us know. Ariel, what is your background? What is your skill set? What are you going to be offering at High Priestess Gran Canaria?
Yeah, so my background, it's pretty it's pretty crazy. But right now I'm really focusing on learning how to just combine like the mind, body, and soul. As I'm seeing clients right now, so I'm a clinical therapist, and a lot of the clients that I've been seeing are very just disconnected from their mind, body, and soul. And so like one of the things that I say all the time is, well, at least I live in the United States, so we drive everywhere. And so sometimes one of the things that we do is like we'll be driving, and we're like not we get to where we got to go and we're like, how did we get here? You know, like
It was a day.
yeah,
It was a day. Yeah.
right. I hope I didn't, you know, run a red
Kill anyone on
light.
the way?
Exactly. Exactly. So, I think that's one of the things that just shows how not connected we are, to our mind, body, and soul. And so, sometimes, doing little things like mindfulness or yoga, just things that really help you kind of be better connected, is one of the things that I'm learning in my clinical practice right now, that it's just super important, especially with women. We've got a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things politically, there's a lot of things just
We won't talk
in
about
general.
politics for the moment in your country, but we are all very happy. We are all very
Yes.
happy of the revolution that Tracy
Yeah,
Chapman sings about. So
definitely.
you're a clinical therapist by trade, and that's what you're going to be offering at the High Priestess Grand Canary retreats. Is that correct?
Yes, so that, as well as Yoga Medics, which is a therapeutic program that combines therapy and yoga. So once again, it really helps with getting in tune with the mind, body, and soul, just kind of getting everything together, more in alignment. And yeah, so that's what I'll be offering.
And those retreats, we are specifically working with Black women. And why do you think that that's so important to solely have those groups for Black women? Why do you think that that's important?
I think that that is super important because in our society, in our world, in our day and age, Black women we've been kind of set, you know, on the lowest pedestal. And so, empowering one another and, you know, being able to teach each other how to become better women, how to become better people in your personal life, better in society, better in our work life, better in our family lives, all of it. It really speaks measures, because we haven't been, you know, put on this high pedestal. And I think a lot of things are becoming a lot more prominent in today's society, involving Black women. So with that also comes a lot more stressors. So I think that, you know, being able to teach how to, you know, better, you know, calm yourself down, be at peace with your mind, body, soul, how to deal with a lot of the different stressors. So teaching yourself, you know, how to be mindful in that moment, how to make sure that you're getting everything that you need and fulfilling, you know, all of your responsibilities at once is really important as well. So
I know that you're on a break at the moment from your course, and so
yeah.
we need to summarize anyway. But let's just say from the American perspective, there are at least spaces opening up and discussions being had and retreats being created for Black women, but we don't really have that culture, and we don't have the disposable income, and there are lots of things that we don't have in the UK and in Europe. So that's, from my perspective, why it's so important to create this sacred space for Black women in terms of mental health. Personally, having come out of a deep depression, and I've talked about it on my podcast, and I've talked about it publicly. Obviously, not everything to the nth term. However, our support networks are so reduced because we might live further away from our loved ones, our family. We might have migrated. The support networks are just like invisible. Mine, in particular, here where I live in Gran Canaria, doesn't exist. So when the shit goes down, like there's nowhere to fall. I'm falling onto the ground. And so when things happen, we need those tools.
Yeah,
we need that
exactly.
toolkit, which is what women will be getting from the retreat with yourself.
Exactly.
Black women will be walking away with those toolkits, so that when the shit goes down and we're falling,
we know how to be okay. Yeah.
We can pick ourselves up again, and we don't have to go right back down to then have the ascension. That's
Exactly.
what I want to say.
Yeah. And I think you bring up a really good point, with the tools. So like what I like to use often is, I'm giving you coping strategies to put in your tool belt. And so these are things that may not work for you right now in this moment, but you might find a year or two from now that, you know, wow, I remember when Ariel was speaking, she gave me this tool. Maybe I can start using this now because things are different in my life. So it's really just like coming up with all of these different coping strategies to make sure that you're okay, that your mental health is where it needs to be. And in the event that, you know, you're fine at this moment, 5 years from now, you may not. And remembering these tools that you have in your tool belt, you can kind of carry with yourself through whatever you're going through.
So I don't know if there's anything else that you'd like to say at this moment in time, Ariel. I know that you're working on migrating and being a migrant living in another country with no support network.
Yeah.
is something that you're going to learn about, maybe again, or maybe for the first time, I don't know. But I hope that you're able to make that happen sometime soon. And we look forward to welcoming you and, you know, working together next year in 2021. We need more. We need so much more. This is just the tip of the iceberg, which from my perspective is why it's so important to have you on board. And we need more mental health workers, but also it's so important to have the discussion and the discourse for Black women, to form that space, that sacred space for Black women, but also to allow at least one Black woman to access that for free. Because being able to have all those tools when you don't have a support network in place, when you're at the bottom of the ladder, it's fucking hard. It's like
Yes, it is.
trying to climb up a mountain to get the help at the top of the mountain, but you don't have the stairs or the steps to, you know, to ascend. So it's really important for me that at least one Black woman can attend every single retreat. And mental health is something very, very close to my heart. And I make no bones talking about that. But it took a long time to get to that point, to be able to talk about it, to be able to say, I take antidepressants, I see a psychologist, I've been suffering, this has been my journey, but my journey isn't the same as somebody else's. And so it's hard. It's fucking hard. And it's an isolating place as well. And it's, you know, a very lonely place when it comes to mental health, because it's all in here.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you know as a specialist.
Yeah. And I did.
So,
hear me now. So identifying that, you know, this is my journey and this is what I went through is also something that's super important. So like you said, getting to the point where it's like, you know, I am seeing a psychiatrist and I am taking antidepressants. And identifying that this is my story and this is what makes me special for whatever reason. And just kind of, you know, and it's not even proving to other people or to the world, but just to yourself, you know, this is who I am, this is what I've been through, and this is okay.
And there's no shame in it, and especially in the Black community. And there's no shame in it, which is why it's even more important to talk about it. But that's a bigger program. So anything else that you'd like to very quickly say? You've got 30 seconds.
Super excited. I really love all of the work that you're doing. I'm really happy, proud, excited, all of the positive emotions to being a part of this. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So have a great day. Get back to your course. Get back to studying. We need that knowledge. We need it. Go and get it, girl, okay?
I'm going. All right. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Take care. If you can leave the room, then I'll try and bring back Natalie. Hopefully has found and I can invite her into the room.
Okay. Gotcha.
Bye-bye. Yay, Natalie! So I've just received your invitation to join the room, and hopefully that will be okay. You will be able to join us any moment now. So
I think so. I just
Natalie,
need to... Yay! Hi!
Yay! Obrigada, obrigada, muito obrigada.
Bom dia, bom dia.
Bom dia.
How are you?
So I'm very good, actually. I'm absolutely loving this session. What are your thoughts about the session so far before you even introduce yourself?
That's good, actually, because I've been sat here. All I've been wanting to do is actually join all the other retreats, because you've got a fab team, it looks like, and listening to everyone talk is, you know, I think everyone can benefit from everything that you're bringing to this project. So I'm just getting super excited about the taster session, so we get to also enjoy everyone else's skills and expertise and share it. So yeah, really excited.
Yeah. Same here, same here. I'm absolutely buzzing, but it's not all about me, as much as I might think it is. It's not all about me. So Natalie, introduce yourself, please. I forgot to say to the other people to tell people where they can find you, because that's important, because you do other things, you know, and you might want to do other projects with other people. So where can they find you? And just introduce yourself. What will you be bringing to the table at High Priestess Gran Canaria?
Sure. So I'm Natalie. I'm currently running my own small business with my partner. We are predominantly based in Morocco pre-COVID craziness, and was running a small guest house, rock climbing and yoga business. So we were taking people climbing. Basically, my partner would wear them out, break them, and then I try and fix them at the end of the day so that they can actually go out on the rocks the next day and enjoy again. So quite a good business model. In a beautiful
break
setting.
them down and I'll make them back up again, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. He breaks them, I fix them, and then they can continue doing all the fun things that Morocco has to offer that they want to do. Which is actually the reason I started yoga in the first place, because of capoeira. I love capoeira. I've been training now 15 years, I worked out, and teaching for 3. And it's an amazing, all-encompassing sport, way of life. But it's quite hard on the body, the movement. So you train quite intensively, and it's quite masculine energy, which I like. I have quite a high masculine energy, but I needed to balance myself with something a bit more feminine. And my initial thing I did was Bikram, which obviously is very masculine, Ashtanga yoga as well. So luckily I have a friend who was helping me, and she kind of led me a little bit and said, I think you need to do something that, you know, zens you out a bit more. And so I managed to find a balance with yin yoga and now hatha. So that's kind of how I got into yoga. And actually, I really love the mix between capoeira and yoga, which is why when I saw what you're doing, I thought this is amazing. And obviously you were asking for dance, but a lot of people see capoeira as dance. I mean, people who do capoeira find that offensive at times because it is a martial art, but it is all hidden in a dance, and it's beautiful at the same time. So I just love movement and energy, and I obviously have a real synergy with Africa and African beats, because I mean with capoeira it's the music that really brings the energy, and I love the music side and teaching and enjoying learning the instruments and the singing, and it works very meditatively. I realized when I got into yoga I just love this call and response with music. So obviously with the mantras it's a very simple. So yeah, creating the energy with the music and then having movement is just a dream for me. So capoeira obviously gives that, and I love to share that with as many people as possible. And I think what you're doing...
Just to interrupt you there, you said that it's very masculine. Does that mean that high priestesses will struggle doing capoeira with us, with you? When you say it's very masculine, absolutely, it's very hard on the body.
No, absolutely not. And as a female teacher, that's one of my goals and what I like to do, because it can be in the UK, especially in London, a very male-dominated sport, and it can get very testosterone. And it's something that a lot of the female teachers around, we love the sport, but that actually can get a bit much at times. So there's a few of us now who are starting to go away from that and trying to bring just the sport and the movement without some of that stuff that unfortunately goes with the wider sport. So no, for me, that's completely my focus. I start very gently. Obviously, if people want more intense, they can have it. But for me, it's just about expressing yourself through the movement and connecting with other people in a playful, fun game. So for me, yeah, 100% not.
Good. Because that's important. Number one, most people don't understand and know what capoeira is. Number two, then understanding that it's a very masculine sport is you know, not necessarily inviting to the average high priestess. So we need to make sure that everybody feels that it's accessible. I've
100%.
I've tried it a couple of times and I've enjoyed it, but again, having a male teacher is very different to having a female teacher, and the understanding of the capabilities maybe of the body are very, very different. And I want to say thank you, because I put the call out to the universe for a female capoeira teacher, and it was so hard to come by. So hard to come by. In so many of these elements that I want to offer as the heart and soul behind High Priestess Gran Canaria, to find females who are skilled at the level that need to be for what I'm putting together, what we're putting together, so difficult, so hard. I don't know if you kind of want to say anything just about that, because you're working in a male-dominated environment, in a male-dominated world, but in your chosen, you know, hobby and sport and business. And so, I don't know if you just want to kind of summarize something there, 30 seconds.
So definitely, and it's a good point. Capoeira is one that not many people know of. So just if there's people who don't, it's a Brazilian martial art that originated by African slaves who were brought over to Brazil. They were actually learning to fight, but they hid it as a dance because obviously they were in terrible conditions.
You've also got the Capoeirian style of capoeira, which it wasn't born out of slavery. So there were kind of different types of capoeira as well from different regions.
There's 3 or 4 different points, and there's always constant arguments about where it actually completely originated for. Everyone's trying to take ownership of it, but it's a highly rich cultural African Brazilian amazing sport, and it has so much culture within it. The music comes because they were hiding, pretending they were dancing, so that's why all the music. And there's lots of different things, like if any of you see my social media, I'm Natalie Caju Budgeon, because Caju is my nickname. It's my appellido in Capoeira, because actually it got outlawed, so everyone's given nicknames so the police don't actually know who you are. So there's all these fun things with the history that I love to share as well. But yes, it is a very masculine dominated sport, and it's something that I fought with a lot. And the more I got into the yoga, the more I felt this, because I become so much more aware of myself and how I was feeling. And it bugs me, and I'm lucky to have a good network of a few other very close female friends who are also in capoeira, who love it. But unfortunately, as time goes on, I've been there 15 years, we lose people because of these things. The people love the sport, but they stop because either they get manipulated by a guy who's actually married and got kids, but they trick them into doing all sorts of stuff with them, and they use them for different things. And there's a lot of this that goes on, which is very sad. So my focus also, and a lot of...
Just to interrupt you again, it's also, you don't want to be the only in the room. And I talk about it from the perspective of being the only black woman in the room. I talked about this at the beginning, when we all met each other. The only fat person in the room, the only queer person in the room. So all the time when you go into these spaces and you're the only, it's isolating and hostile at times, and boring, and makes for a different, a very difficult experience, where it should be a joyful experience, because you should be seeing representations of yourself. But it's just the opposite of that, which is why this has been created.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a male friend who hadn't come out within the capoeira community because he was too shy to kind of say that he was gay, and he was worried that he would get, not bullied, but people would look at him differently and they wouldn't accept him in the same way. And to me, it's just ridiculous, and nothing like that should go on in any sport. So that's my mission with both capoeira and yoga, because the same thing with yoga, since I've been teaching yoga, all I hear all the time is, oh, I'm not flexible, I'm not strong enough, I tried it before but I was told I was crap. And now, I mean, I start very, very gentle, because my whole thing is for people to connect with themselves, to connect with other people, not feel anything bad about what they're doing, and just be able to be them in a nice environment where they don't feel pressured. And we unfortunately get this in all different things. And like you were saying with yoga, the very typical Instagram is a skinny white woman doing some ridiculous pose, in a lake, and that's not what yoga is about.
On the edge of a cliff, on top of it, on the edge of a cliff, or like, it's like, why?
Yeah, and it's crazy. And I mean, sometimes I'm fortunate to be in these. I've just been up in the mountains now, and yes, I want to do yoga there because I feel so connected with nature, and sometimes I share that. But there's just this real big stereotype with yoga, and the same with capoeira. It's very masculine based, and I just want to share these amazing sports that, without people knowing, they bring you to yourself without you knowing it. So I watch people feel it without even knowing what they're feeling, and it gives me it gives me goosebumps. So that's me, really. So, sorry, I was speaking too much.
What made you it's fine, it's perfect. We can talk about all of these things because there's the connection, which is why we're working together on all of these projects for this exact reason. To summarize, is there a specific reason that maybe you haven't already said as to why you want to be part of this program, this project, High Priestess Gran Canaria?
Well, it's like the other lady said, it came up on my phone quite predominantly. I mean, these groups, there's so many posts, and sometimes I might not look in that group for ages, and it was just there on my screen. So I'm feeling, especially what everyone's saying the same thing, it was just there and prominent. So I feel like we're all being brought together for this purpose. But I love what you're doing. I just love, if I'm honest, I love collaborating with, especially with other females, and just being able to share what, we're all on this journey, and a lot of the time we don't even know it, and we have something we can share with others who haven't quite come to that yet. So I just like to be able to share with people and try and get them getting to know themselves and feeling more comfortable with themselves and being able to express themselves like we're all learning to do. So if we can help others to come along in their journey, that's just brilliant.
Okay. So we have got taster sessions scheduled for this year, and I can't remember off the top of my head everyone's dates, but we've got a number of dates as to when we'll be delivering those taster sessions, and people can get more of a feel for what it is that we're doing, what it is that we're bringing, and hopefully join us presentially in 2021. The world will be open shit's about to change. Revolution has come, is coming. Shit is changing. The energies are changing. I've talked about this with the group anyway. It's the cycle of life. And so May 2021 onwards, we've got a beautiful calendar of all of these different retreats scheduled, and we'll be all working together in the sunshine, in the Canary Islands, having a great time and eating great food and not having to do the dishes for me on a personal level.
That's a massive bonus. No, I'm super excited.
Yeah. So maybe minor for some people, but yeah. So thank you very much for your time, Natalie, and for your patience, because things weren't going as they should before, but perfect timing. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much.
Muito obrigada.
Obrigada.
Bye-bye. So if you leave, then I'll be able to then invite the next person in, which will be Claudia. So Claudia, hopefully we've got the sound sorted and there won't be any echo. And
Hello.
Hello. No echo.
Can you hear me properly now? Please.
She was hearing you.
It comes with retard as well. I can't hear you. Yeah. You can hear? Okay. You can hear me. Yes. Okay. Perfect. All right. So, well, my internet, sorry, it works a little bit, well, not really okay. Next week they have to come to fix it. Can you hear me now? Yes? Okay, awesome. So, well, I guess I will introduce myself. I am Claudia, also known as Chaos of the Muse. It's kind of my other business that I do. And, well, I am from Barcelona, but I am living in the Netherlands now for the last 4 years. Before, I was living in England for 5 years. I was studying, I was studying an English first and then an undergraduate degree. And then I moved to the Netherlands in order to do a master degree, and I stayed living here. So I have been here for 4 years. What else? So who am I? Well, I am a graphic designer. I also do, I am an artist as well. I am a total spiritual freak, and I really like to connect and learn more about my femininity and how to connect with my feminine energy in this much patriarchal world that we live in. So, well, how I started with this journey, it was more or less 3 years ago. And, I was going out from an eating disorder. I had social anxiety. I was exhausted, like day in and day out. And I was having difficulties in order to cope with life in general. So I started to look in ways in how I could improve my life. And I came across with the feminine cycle concept with a wonderful woman that, since now she's still my mentor. And I realized that actually men has one cycle, that hormonal cycle that lasts for 24 hours, but woman has a cycle that lasts for 28 days. Then what happened is, because we have been for millennia living in a patriarchal society, the world is shaped and designed by men for men. And what happened is that we women are trying to fit into this way of doing, and it just gets too much for us, because it's not our normal. Yes, we feel suffocated indeed, and it's not our normal, it's not natural for our body to follow this 24 hours only cycle. So what I did is I started focusing on my cycle that lasts for 28 days, and you go through different phases. And the thing is that the cycle, it's very important for women to know about it, because the cycle doesn't only affect reproductivity and your period. So it's not something that has only something to do with reproductivity. but it also affects our brain, our immune system, our microbiome, our response to stress as well. So it's something that really affects us in all the areas of our lives. So then, it was really useful for me to start working with the cycle, and little by little, I started being able to function better with my life and with people who I had around me, and obviously with my body as well. And then, okay. I'm going to explain a little bit what we are going to do in my retreat. So the way in which I learned to work with my cycle was with goddess archetypes. The cycle has 4 phases, and these 4 phases can be related with different goddesses and with their abilities, the abilities that these goddesses have. Then, I always have been working with goddesses which are European, some Nordic goddesses, and also some Indian goddesses. But for this retreat, and from your request, Jeanette, we are going to be working with Caribbean Latin goddess and African goddesses. So this is, the goddesses are, as I just said, like kind of archetypes of different facets or characteristics that we all have inside. Then it's easy to find different goddesses in different cultures because all of them talk kind of about the same archetypes, but maybe the mythology around them changes a little bit. So what we are going to do is we are going to work with these phases. Then one of the days we are going to work with a goddess of fertility and of sexuality and sensuality and self-love. This is not in any of the 4 phases of the cycle, but I think that it's good to start working with this goddess because it's kind of like how we have to approach it with self-love, with acceptance. And from a center place of, okay, we love ourselves and now let's start this journey. So that's why I think that it's going to be interesting to start with this goddess. And then we are going to go to the other ones. One is the first one is the maiden goddess, that it's going to be like the warrior one. We are going to work about with, we are going to go work with our inner child as well, and about seeing the life with this newborn kind of eye, like finding the nice things everywhere. Then the second phase is going to be the mother phase. We are going to work with fertility, with abundance. Is this kind of archetype that kind of takes care of people from an unconditional sort of love, maternal love, yes. Then the other archetype, the third one, is the enchantress archetype, and is this more sexual one that goes to the deeps more of our unconscious mind. It's actually in between the conscious and unconscious world and has a lot of intuition. And in this one, we will work mostly about shadow work. We will do some shadow work. And then the last one is the archetype of the wise woman, is the witch woman. And is the one that is absolutely in the unconscious mind, and we are going to work about rebirth as well, because it's the last one, and then it's like you rebirth every month. It's like a different phase, a different thing. And then, yes, let's see if I can hear you. No? Okay. Well, I'll continue, I guess. Can you hear me?
Why the area?
I can't hear you properly, sorry. Why? Maybe you can write it in a paper or something and show it to me. Why? Yeah, I see. Why, high priest? Okay. Why? Okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. Okay, so it was actually very interesting because for the last couple of years, 1.5 years, I wanted to participate in a retreat, and I had it in my mind. And I've been thinking a lot about it. And then all of a sudden, a friend of mine, I wasn't in that group where you posted the post, a friend of mine was there and she saw the post and she just passed it to me, shared it to me. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing, because it's something that I've been having in my head for a long time. So, and then I contacted you and here we are. So I'm super excited about it. Okay, I cut it because the next person is coming, yeah? Awesome. So thank you very much. Lots of kisses to all of you. Mwah, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
So I can speak again. That wasn't that difficult. I enjoy a bit of acting, that's fine. And so last but not least, Chantel, our digital marketing specialist, should be ready and waiting, last but not least. So Chantel, Miss LDN, you should be ready and waiting to join us as we finish our meet and greet for today, our team meet and greet. And whilst we wait for Chantel to join, I don't know if you've got any comments, guys, if you've got any questions from what you've heard and seen so far, or any thoughts on our specialists, on the team, on the High Priestess Gran Canaria team.
What I need to do, I can join, it's just blank, look.
Yeah, there's nothing at the moment, Chantel, but I can hear you actually, so we could do this without a visual if you want to. And if the visual comes,
you can hear me. I don't know why my camera is not going on. It's just black for
yeah,
some reason.
it's not ideal, but we can hear you. So if you want to, we can do it this way. And if the camera decides to work, then it does. And if it doesn't, at least we've done something. Now, do you want to do it that way, or?
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead. Yeah, fine.
Okay, excellent. So thank you for waiting. You are last but not least today, and we're not doing bad for time actually. So I'm really, really happy. I feel the same way, Patricia. I feel the absolute same way. I feel very, very blessed. So thank you. So Chantel, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your experience and what you're going to be delivering on our retreats at High Priestess Gran Canaria?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, my name's Chantel. I'm originally from London. I now live in Spain, in Madrid. And so while I was in London, I built a career in digital marketing and media. And I've actually always had a real love for the media, especially from radio broadcasting to journalism to all the ways that we can connect now and communicate via digital. And so I actually studied journalism at university, and that's how I actually got into digital marketing. When I first got into digital marketing, the emphasis was really on sort of SEO and content. And so the skills that I had picked up from writing in a journalistic perspective, I was able to use them in communicating, I guess, for marketing.
What does SEO mean for those people that don't know or might have known at one point in time but might have forgotten? What does it mean, please?
So SEO stands for search engine optimization. And so we usually associate SEO with Google. So I think like the majority of the searches that we do online, although there are other search engines, the majority of us use Google. So it's essentially like, if you think about back in the day, we used to have, like in the UK, we used to have the yellow pages where you could literally like look for a plumber or look for a dentist or look for whoever you need a service. Nowadays in this digital age, Google is essentially like the yellow pages. And so as a business or as an entrepreneur or as a brand, if you're working in digital from an SEO side, you want to be like on the first page, realistically, ideally. And so SEO is all about trying to rank in the first page, and then that equals...
So the positioning online of the business, is that right, of whatever is the position of the business?
Exactly, yeah. So sometimes you might search for something on Google and there may be 1 million search results, right? And so if you're on like page 1022, no one's ever going to see you. So really, you want to get as high as you can, and so people can see you, you create that visibility. People click onto your page and ideally convert or, you know, buy your product, your service, that kind of thing, really.
Okay. So what will you be doing on our retreat, Chantel?
So,
How does digital marketing convert to our yoga retreats?
So really for me, what I want to be able to do is empower the women that come on the retreat to be able to look at marketing in a way that really supports what they're trying to do from a business brand perspective. You know, there's so many different channels out there. There's so many different approaches. There's so many different ways you can build a campaign to market. So really to, I guess, feel at one with digital and media, not to feel intimidated or overwhelmed with the choices and tools and the way you can do things, and be able to come away with like real, I guess, confidence and information to be able to then apply it to whatever they're doing, you know, whether it's starting a product or whether it's a business that they already have, being able to apply strategies or to, you know, develop new marketing initiatives so they can go ahead and, you know, build their campaigns or build their businesses or their brands, really.
Okay. I know that it's not an ideal scenario because we can't see you, the camera's not working. Is there anything that you would like to say? I know that you've waited patiently, but is there anything in particular that you'd like to say about the program, about what you're delivering, about why High Priestess Gran Canaria, about yes, just about everything and anything that we're doing?
I would just say I'll echo what the other ladies have said. I don't know, like when you first sort of promoted this retreat, it kind of just spoke to me, and then that's why I reached out to you, and I'm really looking forward to being a part of this and really just delivering, you know, some really creative and fun initiatives, and hopefully people can really enjoy learning and come away and really feel like they've learned, they've grown in their knowledge, and they can apply it in the real world, really. So that's it in a nutshell.
Thank you, and that's really important. Again, we've talked about the need for spaces for Black women, and in terms of the digital marketing, we'll be offering marketing and yoga, so digital marketing and yoga for Black women to create those safe spaces, to create networking opportunities, and so that's really, really important. Anything else, Chantel, that you would like to say? I don't want to cut you short because I know that you've waited, but it's just if we can't see each other, it's a little bit of a different type of dialogue at the moment. We will be doing a taster session, or a few taster sessions later on, and I think yours is scheduled for 2021 onwards. Is that right? We're not doing any together this side of the year. We're doing yours together in the next year. So just anything that you'd like to say before we say au revoir, goodbye, hasta luego?
I would just say, yeah, just, you know, support what we're doing. It's going to be great. 2021 is the opportunity for us to come together, to share, to learn from one another. And I'm excited to do the taster session so you can kind of see a little bit more of what I'll be delivering. And that's it. So until then, really.
Thank you very much, Chantel. Muchísimas gracias, and take care. And we'll be in contact soon. Look after yourself. And if you can leave the room, then I'll just finish off and I'll just sign out to the world. And take care. So you have met the team, the incredible High Priestess Gran Canaria team. We have a website, so www.high, which is HI Priestess PRIESTESS.GC.com. We've got the Insta page, which we're on at the moment. We've got a Facebook page, High Priestess Gran Canaria Retreats, which is High Again HI. We've got the YouTube channel, so anything that's recorded here is then uploaded to the YouTube channel. And we're always looking for support, really. We're looking for conversions of sales. We're looking for donations to ensure that we're able to offer these spaces to Black women. You've heard all of the teachers say the same thing. In each of these spaces that they've worked in, it's usually very male, very white, very male, very white, very male, very masculine, all very white, very, very white, very kind of stereotypical. So we're making sure that we're able to bridge those gaps and that everybody can have the joy of these spaces and these experiences. And thank you very much to my High Priestesses for your energy, for your time, for your patience today, and absolutely must enjoy this Sunday afternoon. I'm going to go and drink my rum punch and eat my Caribbean, my Jamaican food that my mother taught me very well. And I will eat that food and drink that punch with such a smile on my face, because the experiences, the energy, the talks, basically the dialogues that we've had this afternoon have been an absolute blessing to me. And this is just the start. This is nothing, because the hard work is ahead of us and there are lots of things to do and to achieve. And we've got a big job ahead of us. High Priestess, I say thank you. Take care. Look after yourself. Over and out. Jeanette Edmeade.